Hi everyone, I'm Crystal.
I'm Lee.
I'm Maria.
And I'm Hariza.
And welcome back to the House Party.
All right, guys, we are now going to start posting podcast episodes bi-weekly, so stay tuned for that one.
And we are very happy to announce that we're not only on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, but many more. You can go ahead and check it out at sincewe'rehere.net/house party. That is HAUZPARTY.
And you can also check us out on social media. On Instagram, our handle is HAUZ_PARTY. And you could also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it's House Party on YouTube.
So we're going to be talking about love today, a topic that we don't really, want to get into, but everyone's going to have to talk about it sometime.
Yeah. Take everything we say with a grain of salt.
Period.
We are just college kids. We are not therapists. We are not certified in any way.
And we're just talking from experience.
Exactly.
We're going to let you guys know how we handled stuff, and hopefully it can help you guys out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before you can love anybody, you have to love yourself.
Thank you, RuPaul.
Thank you, Mama Ru.
And that would definitely have to start with having self-respect. Make sure that you know your worth, and don't let anybody treat you any less than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a hard topic for a lot of people because getting to the point where you love yourself, it takes time and effort.
Yes.
There's so many things that go into that, how you feel about yourself, especially now in our age, like with social media, just in general, like how everybody just compares everything to like themselves, and we're just based on comparison. And I know it's very toxic culture, and I know we already know that, but I think it's just good to mention the fact that it's not easy to get to that self-respect or that self-love.
Exactly.
It's a long journey that you just don't figure it out in 1 year. It takes time to do.
Like I know I'm personally going on my own journey right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean for that I literally had to hop off of online dating with the whole issue with that, and so. But no, for the online dating aspect, I was on Tinder for a while. Well, actually, I was on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. And with those apps, basically, I thought I was gonna snatch somebody up right then and there, because you're like, oh, it's a dating app. There's many people on here, so everybody's looking for somebody. Wrong. I wasn't getting anybody, and I mean, honestly, I think the reason why that was I kept blaming myself a lot. I was like, I'm not good looking to anybody, so nobody wants me, and so I think. For myself, I literally had to sit here and delete all the apps and basically just realize you are enough.
Yeah.
And you're worth it.
Yeah, always enough.
And hopefully somebody's gonna come by and realize what you have to offer, and they're gonna want what you have to offer.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. But you have to be careful, because it's sometimes you can go on dating apps and you just jump in without having any intentions for yourself at all. Basically.
And on the setting intentions, whenever in my experience, I have also been on Tinder. Make sure that your intentions are clear. You could put them in your little bio or whatever. A lot of people that are on some dating websites are only on there to do nothing more. I personally don't recommend online things like Tinder if you're looking for an actual solid relationship. Some people it works out like that, but just make sure that your intentions are clear so that way you guys are on the same page.
And also when you set your intentions, make sure you're reciprocating the same energy. If somebody's giving 20 and you're giving 80,
exactly.
Don't do it to yourself.
You need to be on the same level.
Exactly. But have you guys have any personal experiences with online dating? I personally haven't.
Oh, man, yeah. So I've been on Tinder, on Bumble, and so I actually had a good experience on Bumble. I met this guy. He was really cool. We had a good connection. We hit it off. We started, meeting each other here and there, and it was really cool. really cool. We really like hit it off. It was nice. But then Rona hit.
Oh.
And I think since we were at the beginning stages of really getting to know each other,
Yeah.
the needing to actually be in person together
Mm-hmm.
was missing. And so after not being able to see each other, conversations just started to fall off,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Otherwise, I think that really could have become something.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also been like other times where I've gone on just random dates and like how we were saying intentions were clear and stuff. Like we both say, oh yeah, this was nice. We should do it again.
Yeah.
But in reality, we don't mean that. And you
Mhm.
just don't talk again.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Like-
let me lay this down
I'm just-
nicely.
Yeah. But I think I think that's something I have to work on. Like I have to be able to say, be like, hey, so I actually didn't enjoy this.
Yeah.
I think, thank you for tonight, but I think that's it, But
Yeah.
I feel like it's so like, shit, should I actually just be like, go with it, be like, yeah, I want to see you again, or just be straight up, I think I have to work on that myself
Mhm.
because I prefer to just be nice and just,
Yeah, because it's
really-
kind of scary.
and it's uncomfortable too.
Because you're just like, yeah, like, because the other person goes, oh my God, this is the best time of my life. And you're like, this was
Ooh,
kind of
yeah.
crappy.
This was
Exactly.
awkward.
And
Exactly.
it's just, I think, a matter of like hurting feelings.
Exactly.
But like,
Yeah, because you have to put yourself in like their shoes at the same time.
You wouldn't want
Yeah.
that done
Yeah.
to yourself, so it's like
Yeah.
it's a hard
Exactly.
thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's just. I mean, does anyone really want to hear that the date was horrible, and then you start questioning your own self, and you're like, "What did I do wrong?" And it's
yeah.
like,
But I think like, say that were to happen, like, I'm putting my shoes, like, if that were to happen to me, I would just kind of ask the person, like, hey, like, is there something I did,
Mhm.
just to know. If they're just like, oh, I don't feel a connection, I'll be like, okay, cool, like, respectful. But if they're like, oh, you did XYZ, then I would know for later purposes, like, okay, I shouldn't do that again.
exactly. I think it's like a like learning benefit almost from it.
Yeah.
I feel
For
like
sure. I'd
yeah.
definitely say
So
that.
you shouldn't really beat yourself up on that. But I mean, like, I think the hardest part before you even talk to anybody is trying to match with somebody, right?
Cool.
Oh.
Because there's so many different personalities out there in the world that
Mhm.
like no one. I feel like not everyone is perfect for each other.
Oh no, of
Oh, no.
course.
Of
not.
course, like, but I mean, you got some people that are like, oh, we're meant to be this and that. There's always that other person out there. There's literally 7 billion, almost 8 billion people out here in the world.
True.
And you mean to tell me you found your match? Okay. But I mean, like, for me, just like waiting for somebody, like with the whole Tinder thing, I felt like I was waiting for a message in a bottle to come across the ocean.
Ooh.
And yeah, that just trash, complete trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing, especially like when people like try to slide in.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Just if
Don't be nasty.
please.
Don't be-
Oh
don't
my
be
gosh.
nasty.
You
I have
little
gotten-
nasty.
I have gotten like the most disgusting like slide in DMs that you could possibly think about. If y'all are trying to hit somebody up, please be respectful. Like
Please.
I-
I do want to mention something though. Like
Mhm.
when I got on Bumble, I was not ready for the fact that girls are the ones that make the first move,
Oh, yeah.
and I do have to give
didn't
credit
know.
to the guys because sometimes hitting the other person up 1st.
Mhm. It's
It
hard.
takes a minute. I'm
It's
like, and then trying to
hard.
find the right words and like a good pickup line.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
Like because you just want to be like, hi, like what?
Yeah, but what the
Exactly,
is hi gonna
exactly.
no?
So I was like, hi, what are you doing?
Like,
Like,
that's-
no,
no,
it's so
it's-
I
awkward.
hate when the
Yeah.
combo starts off with that. What are you doing? And then goes
Like,
to
it's like,
watching
what-
TV,
what-
and it's like,
And that's it.
Now
That's
that's
the
it.
combo.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
combo.
all right, all right.
Oh,
It's
I
like-
had one friend had an experience. She was on Tinder and like a guy was like, hey, she's like, hey, he's like, why are you on Tinder? And she's like, why are you on Tinder? He's like, I asked you first, and she just unmatched with him immediately.
Are you serious?
I was
Why
like,
are we both
I
on
was
here?
like,
So-
No
excuse
bad.
me.
I'd have been like,
is
to
this?
find love. Like,
No
what do you
bad.
think
It's
this
a weird
is?
question, but it comes up a lot. That's usually the first thing. Like, why are you on Tinder? What are you looking for? Like,
What do you
But-
think I'm looking for?
No, but that's the thing. That's
It's
about
setting
setting
your
your intentions.
intentions. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I
'Cause-
think like what really made me mad when I was on Tinder. Oh my god, the fact that like me as a gay person speaking, like me being on Tinder, there's guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, apps give you bios for a reason. And you match with someone and you're like, hey, what are you looking for? And I'll be like, oh, I'm looking for a relationship. And they're like, oh, I'm just looking for a friend. Why are you on Tinder?
no bad.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Now, Bumble has a setting like specifically for friendship purposes. Like, why are you on Tinder looking for friends? Like,
Exactly.
there's also those people like guys are on there too, and they're like, "Oh, I have a girlfriend just looking for friends." Like, I feel like that's a cover. Not to,
That kind of seems like a cover up.
Another thing I've literally been seeing when I'm on Tinder, I just match with people like locals.
Yeah.
And it turns out they have girlfriends.
Oh, that's awkward.
Literally, it's happened like twice or 3 times in the past few weeks.
Have
and I'm just
y'all
like, oh.
experienced like a couple on Tinder and they're like, hey,
my
want to be
God.
friends?
Oh my
That's so
gosh.
weird.
It's the unicorn. It's called the unicorn.
Why is it called a unicorn?
That's
I don't know.
Oh,
One couple hit me up. Was like, "You want to be my unicorn?" I was like,
like unicorn.
I will research into that later. That
Oh my
is
God,
a
that's
strange way to call
interesting.
somebody. But
It is kind of weird. I'm like, okay.
But I feel like besides like Tinder and stuff, like actually like happens like shooting your shot in person or telling someone you like them in person.
We love anxiety.
That's my
Oh.
arena.
I have to be in a certain type of mood and feeling myself in order to
Yes.
be bold enough to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not happening.
Honestly, like on my end, when I tell guys I like them in person, it's that 20 seconds of courage I have. But if I don't do it right then and there, I'm never
It's not
gonna
gonna
do it.
happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Exactly. Like that's just awkward because you're like, hey, I like you, this and that, and then they don't read your message or they open it and leave you on open.
Oh my god, that hurts my feelings if someone
I'm
like
just
does
like,
that.
was that not enough?
But like,
No.
Self-worth, baby.
Self-worth.
But like the 20 seconds of courage that you were talking about, that's
Yeah.
what happened with me at work. Remember that one? I go into that. So, like, I would say a couple months ago, I was at work and this really fine dude just came up through the drive-thru, and I was like, God, I have to say something. So I was about to give him his food and stuff, and I was like, hey, I don't know if I can say this, but like, I wanted to let you know you're really freaking attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks at me and he's like, hey, I think you are too. And I'm like, this dude must be lying because I had my whole mask on, right?
I'm dead.
And so he was gonna say something, and then I just kind of got nervous and I left, right?
Mm-hmm.
A week later, my friend's like, dude, the hot guy's here. So I'm like, I'm at the window, so I'm just like, oh, he's coming. So as he pulls up to the window, he starts smiling, right? And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, hey, you're back. And so I give him his stuff, everything, and then as I'm gonna give him his food, I'm like, hey, I gave you a cookie in there, by the way. And this dude said, he pulls out a piece of paper and he's like, hit me up sometime. And I was like, okay.
Oh, we bold now.
That's really, I was like, what the hell? I don't know how that happened. And we started talking and everything. Y'all, I know you guys already know a little bit of this, but the age.
Yeah, but
Chilly.
chilly.
He was 29.
Mm-hmm.
I love men. Older men with experience. Like, the thing is, I'm 19, right?
Yeah.
So whenever he told me he was 29, I was like, oh, I'm fine with that, but you might be scared with my age. And then, but no, we just kept talking for a while and like we hit it off, but now we're just friends and stuff. But yeah, it's just like about those 20 seconds of courage that can lead to something. Because otherwise, no.
That's why, like, you just need to shoot your shot. As, I don't know, it's probably an unknown quote, but you miss 100% of the shots that you don't shoot.
Exactly.
And
They say that in
you
the
just...
office?
I really don't.
I don't watch The Office.
I don't either. I know people are probably going to attack me. I have a friend that's been trying to get me to watch The Office for the longest.
Me.
But
I watched one episode.
Yes.
No. Oh, I'll talk about that.
Season
later.
2 slaps.
Season 2 slaps. Forget season 1.
Exactly.
But yeah, people just need to shoot their shot more often and just hope for the best. It really can't be that bad.
Oh, I have a little story. So there is a guy. I liked him for a long time, and I finally him and I were hanging out at my house, and he was leaving, and literally in my head I was like, this is the one time I have to say it. So I literally told him outside of my house as he was leaving, and I was like, yeah, I like you and stuff, and he was just like, oh, I used to like you and everything, but
Used to, yeah.
See, that's
That's
what happens
tough
when
for
people
another day.
don't shoot their shot.
Apparently he literally told me, he was like, yeah, because I told him, I was like, yeah, I wanted to tell you earlier, but I got really nervous a week or two before, and he was like, oh, why didn't you just do it? Things could have started happening, but at that time he was already talking to somebody else, and I was like, oh,
That's
got it.
Your
Proud of myself for
shot.
shooting.
That happened to me too.
Oh,
there was this guy at work 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Fine black Oh Lord, this dude was something else, right? And like
Spicy.
just attractive from the start. And we like were talking. He was like he made work fun, and then he got another job or whatever. And I got his social media and stuff. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I thought you were really cute. I liked you. And he's like, you should have told me. We could have had something. I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
But that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. You just honestly, if the minute you start feeling something for someone and you can see this going, just shoot your shot. Just at least my mentality is like, at least I did something instead of me looking back, being like, oh, what could have been.
Exactly. And I think if like more people like shot their shot, I think it kind of like inspire other people to like do it too.
Yeah.
And I think it just make things easier instead of like hiding and being afraid whether that person's gonna like hate you or not after you like tell them.
Like the worst somebody could say is no. Like
Exactly. Like there's no point in crying over it. Like there's someone else out there who's actually
they didn't love
exactly.
like no.
I actually got with my first boyfriend because I shot my shot.
Yes, man.
See, it works out for
Yeah,
some people.
no,
It works
literally.
out.
It's not 20 seconds, man.
Exactly.
20
That whole
seconds.
20 seconds, period. And you
Mhm.
never know when that person says no, you might be saving yourself like a whole world of like pain and like
Yeah.
hurt because you never know who that person is.
Yeah. And I think it kind of like, say you shoot your shot. Now it's like, all right, you're whatever your talking stage relationship and like what you have to set in that, or now the intentions in the relationship.
But I also think that a lot of people don't shoot their shot because of fear of rejection. And that's a
Yeah.
very real
Of
thing.
course,
Like,
and
Yeah.
nobody likes
it's-
that.
No, yeah.
no, it hurts and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Exactly.
But
But
you
I
gotta-
mean, if you do it and it works out,
Mhm.
like make sure that person knows like what you want out of it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like don't just jump into something and being like, all right, we're gonna have fun, everyone's gonna like it, and we're gonna celebrate, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, there's actually like work that comes with that. Like,
Yeah.
you need to establish like a base, like setting boundaries for people. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like do that, but they don't listen to their own boundaries.
I think,
Tea.
yeah, boundaries are like the foundation of a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Like you need to make sure that person knows how you feel, what you want out of it, and that's it. Like,
And the biggest thing is, if you like say you set your boundaries, but if that person doesn't respect your boundaries, you should not be with them. Because like how I personally see it, it's like they don't respect you at all.
mhm.
Because if you're literally setting like, I don't like this, or like this is what I want, like,
No,
you know?
Exactly.
But that also has to go both ways, of
Oh,
course.
for sure.
You know?
Oh,
for
for
sure,
sure,
for
for sure. But I think like with the whole boundaries aspect of it,
Mhm.
I think it's more of like people get caught up in like love wise,
oh yeah,
and it's like kind of like how like people say like there's like a honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's why it's like you need to listen to your own boundaries, and it's like what's the purpose of you doing that if like you don't listen to them?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're
Mhm.
kind of like not giving your own self that self-respect that we talked about.
T.
Exactly. So like I feel like a good relationship, honestly, it starts with you and not just the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like make
Mhm.
sure that you're respecting your boundaries.
exactly.
Like if you as an individual decided that you want to wait to have sex till marriage, or that you're
Mhm.
abstinent now, or anything of that nature, if that is your decision, I believe that you should stick to that. Like despite what the person says, what they tell you, like make sure that you keep that clear. And let's say that you do go ahead and tell them that and they don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. You knew what their intentions were,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so that wasn't going to be a good relationship for you at all.
You know,
Exactly.
and I also want to like just jump in there and say that with boundaries, I think that also includes friendships.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So separating your boyfriend/girlfriend, whatever it may be, and your friends,
Yeah.
and being able to actually just still be with your friends and have the relationship at the same time. Don't just put your significant other before them.
Mhm.
And I think I want to talk about how you guys know you and Crystal and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You had that
do we
experience with
do?
me and my ex.
Oh,
Remember that one
oh.
time? So I was with
Girl,
my
I thought
ex.
you were about to drag us. I was like,
No,
I
no. But like there was a time when I was with my ex. It was high school, I think freshman, sophomore year, and I think it was for an event that I had, or I don't remember what it was. There was an event, and you guys came to support.
Wasn't it like a
Oh,
banquet
okay,
or something, like the sports
Oh,
banquet?
it was
This-
the
It's
sports
the
banquet.
yeah. And y'all came for me, right? Like just to support me and everything. And I was still with my boyfriend at the time. And I kind of just ignored you guys. Not ignored you, but I was like, I said, hey, and then I just left to be with him. you know? And at the time, I didn't realize, like, whoa, what was that, you know?
Yeah.
Until you guys mentioned it and said something. And obviously, I grew from that. And it's like, honestly, like, what they say when, like, people, it's like, your friends are still going to be there when you and that person are no longer together, you know? So you cannot just always put them first.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to, you know.
Yeah, I
say
think
that.
a lot of people struggle with separating, like,
Mhm.
that, because it's like, okay, like, the person I'm dating is higher than my friends, and it's like,
No.
you and that person could break up at any moment, but friends are always going to be there.
Exactly.
True.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and if that happens, y'all never really had a strong friendship to begin with.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like, what's the purpose?
And you're
think-
gonna be alone after that too, because you're not
Mhm.
gonna have
Oh
anyone.
my god,
Yeah.
exactly. You're like, I didn't have anyone to support me after we broke up, and it's like, well, you kind of like,
Did that on
You
yourself.
can't- yeah.
Exactly.
No, definitely.
But what I will say, like,
Yeah.
whenever that did happen, I had brought it up to Maria, and she literally, like, it was like, I just flipped the switch, like, complete. It was like a complete change. Like, you even, and that's how, like, I know that our friendship was solid, is that, like, I could have brought that up to her, and she was able to adjust, like, instantly, no problems. And
Yeah.
so that's also a really
Mhm.
good, like, quality to have whenever it comes to, like, relationships and things.
And I think like that also happened because it was my first relationship too.
Mhm.
So it was new. It was
Yeah,
something
yeah.
new. But yeah, no, definitely. You have like that's another thing. You gotta be able to communicate
Oh yeah.
with people.
Let me tell you something about communicate. Okay, this is the biggest thing, and I like to shout out to my girl Isra because she helped me with this. Because I was going through something, and she literally was like, "You can communicate all you want with your partner, but if they do not comprehend what you're saying, it's
Mhm.
like talking to a wall."
Yep.
And it's true because it's like I could be telling you all my feelings and it could literally go out and you're just like, okay, yeah, I understand, but like you're not making the effort to change or understand my feelings.
Mhm.
This isn't gonna go anywhere. And I feel
Of
like if
course.
you don't have that in a relationship, there's no relationship
No.
truly.
Of course.
And the biggest thing too is like I think you have to be open with your partner, even if it's stuff like you feel uncomfortable about. You
Mhm.
need to let them know, or like say you're like having an off day, and like I know I do this with like my significant other. Like I'll be like off, and I'll be like, hey, like I'm feeling kind of like low right now, and he's very respectful. He understands. He's like, okay, like I'll give you space. Let me know if you need anything. You have to be open because like if I'm like acting weird and he's like, what's wrong with my girlfriend? I'm just like he doesn't know, he can't help
Mhm.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. I'm really bad at that. I don't really like expressing my feelings. I don't know why. I'm working on it. I'm getting better.
Progress, baby.
Yes. But that's like that could make a big difference in a relationship. Like, let's say you're just having a day and you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody,
Yeah.
but you don't tell someone that, even like with friendships, not even just
Mhm.
relationships, if you don't tell them and like somebody's trying to contact you, and that could make the person feel like, oh, they don't like me, they hate me, like why are they doing this, they don't want to be friends with me. And I feel like if you don't address that, it could spiral into like something that's not really there, and that wasn't your intention. So it's really good to make sure that you let them know how you're feeling.
But what about like you do let them know how you're feeling and they just completely like ignore that, and it's like, no, you're gonna talk to me.
They're
Not then they're not respecting your boundaries.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
then that's not a
That's not a healthy
great move.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not. That's getting toxic.
We love toxic relationships.
No, we
But
Said
like,
no one ever.
but also another thing with communicating and stuff like that is like, you know, like some unfortunately some relationships, so like one of the partners, or maybe there's multiple partners, if you guys would like do that, like they don't fully tell everything, and then you find out other stuff later, like cheating.
Ooh,
Oh
God.
man,
God.
that's
Oh god.
That is tea.
Cheating is a very like touchy subject to talk
Oh,
about, but we still gonna get into it.
Mhm.
For me, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, whenever something happens and it does get out like that someone cheated, I don't understand. Most of the time, like, it's even guys do it too, but most of the time, like, girls, they'll find out that the dude was cheating and then they'll want to like go attack the other girl.
Mhm.
And I feel like
Mhm.
in a lot of situations, the girl might not even know
Yeah.
that you are in a relationship.
Mhm.
So why are you firing her up when you should be firing up your man?
Exactly.
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 I have personally been in a situation where there was someone who was in a relationship. I knew they were in a relationship, but things had escalated at some point in time, and they specifically told me that they had broken up or that they weren't in a relationship. And the girl, and she didn't talk to me. She didn't try to fight me or anything, but the girl was like making posts on social media, and she blocked me
I remember
everywhere.
she was dragging you
Yep.
on Snap. She posted a picture.
Yeah.
There was a lot that was going on with that, and if I'm being honest, I don't know what she was told. She could have been lied to for all I know, but that, like, I didn't know, and I that was pretty much spread across the entire school.
Oh,
And
God.
it was like, it wasn't cute. It was a little rough for me, but I personally was told in that situation that they were not together anymore. So having the entire class like thinking that, oh, I went into a relationship that and broke that up was really upsetting for me, especially whenever I brought it up and I was like, okay, is this still a thing? And I was told no. So to be dragged for something that I tried to avoid it was crazy to me. But I grew from it. I persevered, and I pulled myself out of that. So
Still a stallion, still rocking it, still
Yeah.
hot girl stuff.
Period.
I just can't believe he didn't tell you anything.
I asked.
This is why
I did.
Like,
Honestly, like, my thing, okay, if you're in a situation that you think you're gonna cheat on your significant other, honestly, break up with them, or just be like, hey, this isn't working, I'm having this going on, break up with, like, honestly, like, yeah, like, breaking up with someone just to go with somebody else, yeah, it sucks, but at least you were respectful enough of their feelings or emotions, like, hey, this isn't working, I'm gonna break up with you. But
Unless, you know, you're into that polyamorous type of stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a
you
different
talk
case.
to-
That's a different story.
talk to your partner first, though.
Yeah.
yeah, make
sure that y'all on the
Always
same-
talk to your
and you
partner.
guys are on an even ground, especially
Exactly.
if you're doing that.
Communication.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, if you cheat on your significant other and trash,
Mhm.
period.
But
I don't
cheating could
trash.
also be used to kind of hurt the other person, or maybe because from experience, you know, when I broke up with somebody, they put it in my face that they had been cheating on me for a while, and you know that really like got to me, that hurt me.
Yeah.
But later on, he was like, you know, you hurt me so much by breaking up with me, like, you know, you were everything to me, kind of, that I wanted to hurt you the same way. And that's the only reason why I told you I was cheating on you, you know? And it's just like, that's such a hard situation to be in, because at the same time, it's like, do I believe him, or do I, you know?
It's a mind
you
screw.
don't, yeah, you really don't
It's
know.
like, are you trying to get back at me now?
Or
Like,
you're just
are
trying to save your ass. Like, you really don't know, you know? So that's, I don't know.
Yeah, and like breakups are like, they suck, they hurt. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but like my thing is like, whatever you do to someone, it comes back to you. So my thing is like, if you're gonna be evil and be mean to them, whatever, like just know it could come back at you 10 times harder. So it's better just like keep your peace, keep your boundaries, and keep it rolling.
Also, if you end up getting cheated on or end up in a situation kind of like mine, make sure that goes back to the beginning, knowing your self-worth. Do not think lesser. Not lesser.
Don't think less of
Okay,
yourself.
we're going proper. Don't do that. Don't think less of yourself because somebody cheated on you. You, not to like justify for people cheating, but you don't know what that person was going through. There's no reason why somebody should be cheating on you, but don't think less of yourself because of somebody else's actions. That could cause a toll on your life that you don't need. It's not necessary.
It's really not.
And also something that cheating comes up with a lot is whenever people are doing like long distance relationships.
Child.
It is very, very I don't want to say tempting, but you could see how there could be situations where it could come up, somebody's cheating, like that person's not there, they're not with you 24/7, so you don't know what they could be doing.
Exactly. And like with that, I know, oh my God, from my personal experience, I was dating someone. Y'all probably gonna look at me bad, but like,
why?
because I'm in Texas.
No
and
judgment here.
They were in Massachusetts.
That's a long
I'm sorry.
distance.
No bad.
When I tell you that like you can't fly, you can't drive there, like you want to teleport, like it's hard because like at the same time it's like y'all are communicating through like an app,
Yeah.
and it's like with app and texting, sure, you can drop emojis in it, but that still doesn't really show like how someone is feeling, you know?
No, it's like, yeah.
And it's like with that, I feel like long distance relationships are on for like people who are actually strong and like can truly handle that in a sense. Because if you're the type of person who needs someone to like be there for you, you know, and you like depend on like actually physically seeing that person, being with that person, then just don't do a long relationship.
I personally don't think I could handle long distance. Like, and that's just me knowing myself. I don't think I would be able to handle that.
Exactly.
What about you, Mario? Do you think you could do long distance?
Oh man, I mean, not from the start. I think maybe if I had been with a person for a while, and we had like a good established connection, and we knew where we were in life, to make it work, of course. But just a quick, like, short relationship, no. There's no way. Because there's nothing, you know, you don't know anything, really.
You know, and it's like, they're living their life up there, and you're living your life here, and it's like, all right, we're on two different, like, you know, things and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and just the fact that I went through with the guy that I was telling y'all about, that we met before Rona, and then Rona started, and then we couldn't see each other, and then things just fizzled out.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not the same thing. Yeah. So, yeah, but I think that also has a lot to do with love languages and attachment styles, you know?
Yeah. I personally feel like I feel like some people, they get a little too attached in a relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh, I got...
You got tea? Okay. I got a cup. Spill.
Right. Girl, it's the pot.
Oh, sis.
Okay, so love languages, honestly, it all ties into your childhood. So whatever you really didn't get as a kid, it shows in your like love language. So like for me, example is mine is words of affirmation. So like as a kid growing up, I didn't really get that much. So whenever so I personally like I like long messages, I like letters, like really like little like writing or like, you know, because to me I take that as you care. Or some people like physical touch is their language. They didn't really get that growing up. Or quality time with like parents or family and stuff. Like everything like ties into it. And I feel like if you know your partner's love language, then things can like be more smooth. So like the person I'm with, his is physical touch, and then mine is words of affirmation. So like he'll like send me long paragraphs sometimes, and he knows it makes my day because that's my love language. And I know if like I randomly like hug him or stuff like that, like he gets happy because that's his thing. And so I think like once you know that, then things can go smoother. Because like I think a lot of relationships, they'll be like, oh, like my girlfriend, like I like touching her and stuff, but she gets uncomfortable. It's like, well, that's not her love language compared to like she might like quality time. Like she probably just wants to hang out with you. She doesn't really want to do anything.
I think you really have to know each other. I think, and it's funny because I don't think love language was such a like known topic a few years back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it really just came up.
Now we see why she wants to be a psych major.
Let me hear your problem, shawty.
Exactly. And I think that's why like a lot of relationships don't work at times. Because I think people get into a relationship and they're like, all right, we're already in a relationship. What else more do you want?
Yeah, but also like people have to be careful whenever it comes to relationships. You don't want to be like so dependent on the person that it's to the point that if God forbid y'all end up like breaking up, you don't want to be so attached to them to the point where it's like y'all break up and your whole world's destroyed. That could end up being very dangerous.
I've seen that happen with like one of my friends, and like she was literally so shattered, and it like scared me personally because I was like, I never want to be so dependent on my partner because I have to like, you weren't in my life before, you may not be in my life after. Like I have to remember like I still have myself at the end of the day. But self-worth. But like depending on a partner. But also there's some people who like depend everything on their partner. Like they're like, oh, like I can't go out if like he doesn't let me out. I'm like, that's not your father.
Oh,
like,
no.
Excuse me.
Or like me.
Or like they're like, I wish only people that can tell me what to do is my mom, my dad, my sister,
extra period,
and my grandmother.
Even harder period.
That's it.
Like,
yeah, and I think for like that sense, you have to realize that like in a relationship, it's not just about being together, but it's also about having like that like autonomy basically.
Oh yes.
And it's like basically like self-governing yourself, you know, and being like, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. Like I feel like people get in relationships and then they're like, oh, I have to listen to him, I have to do what he says, and it's like,
Ooh,
no. Like I feel like the whole male and female thing in a relationship is dead now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like with the whole gender, like, you know, just like the stereotypes, basically, like, oh, I'm the female, he needs to do this for me, this and that, da da da.
Not at all.
Yeah, I feel like a female should be able to take over a relationship too, besides just the male.
If I want to pay the bill, I want to pay the bill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that could go in, especially like if it's something where somebody's sticking like so hard in the relationship that you guys have to have that gender role. That's where it becomes like really toxic, especially if the person's trying to tell you like what to wear, what to do.
I am not going to be a nun for you.
I'm sorry, that cannot be me.
Again, ties in. I live under my parents' house. My parents' rules, like whatever they don't want me to wear, I'm not gonna wear it. But
Exactly.
I wish someone would tell me what to wear. Excuse me, if I want to wear this cute top, I'm gonna wear this cute top for myself, not for you.
If I want to order this dress from Fashion Nova, I'm gonna order this dress from
Fashion
Nova.
But like, I mean, if you do that, what about the whole like, I don't want people looking at you type of thing? Like,
I feel like if you can't handle
a confident, beautiful woman,
exactly,
or men,
you don't
whatever you identify with.
You don't need to be in that relationship. If you cannot, that also goes back to like trusting your significant other, and that like trust is a big thing in relationships. If you don't have that, it's game over.
Let's dive in. Let's talk about honesty and trust.
Please, can we say that last word one more time with the T? What is it again?
Trust.
Yes, I love it. All right.
Like, okay, I feel also another thing. If you don't trust your partner, that is like a big, to me, honestly, that's one of my big red flags. Like, I'm personally all about honesty. Even if it's going to hurt me or something, just be honest. Like, I'm understanding. I'll understand.
Because at the end of the day, I'll respect you more.
I would respect you more if something happens and you tell me up front, then something happened, you hide it from me, you lie about it, and then I find out that it was true.
From another person.
Yeah, especially if it's from somebody else. Like, that's upsetting.
That will.
Like, why does the whole town know our business? Like,
but not me.
Not me. It's crazy.
Or, I have a story about this, but I can't remember which one it was. Okay, it was a guy I talked to in high school, but we're really good friends now. But we were talking and everything, and I find out from my friends that he's still talking with his ex-girlfriend, and I was like, "Excuse me?" Like, I was like,
"Say the word, now light him up."
We're tight. No. We're tight. We're good. But found out he was talking with his ex-girlfriend, and I was like, bro, like, and he always told me throughout like our talking stage, like, all right, no, like, I don't talk with her, I don't mess with her and stuff. But I'm just like, yo, like, like, I'm like, my thing, like, literally, if he was like, yeah, I'm still like connected with her, I still want to be with her, like, by all means, go be with her. I'm not gonna stop you, bro. If you want to do what you want to do, do it. Just be honest, because I think a relationship built off of lies, that's a whole other mess itself. Because now it's like, all right, can I really trust what you're saying? Are you everything you're telling me is lies? And I don't know. Trust is like a big thing in a relationship. You have to have that.
I have a question.
What's up?
Why do y'all think most people are afraid of being honest and true and like rather just like hurt the person? Like, why do you think that?
Let me raise my hand for this one.
Yes.
Okay, I think honesty, when people are scared to be honest because then they're going to see a side of you they don't want you to see, or they're scared of like, oh my God, if I say this about myself, like, what are they going to think of me now? Or like, or a lot of people struggle with, and I can even say for myself, is vulnerability. Like, it's hard. It's really super hard. I can vouch for that. But it's just like, you don't know what they're going to say. Or like sometimes like, this happened to me so many times. Like, I would say my feelings to somebody, like maybe something, like not even like just like some guy or whatever, like it could be friends. And I'm so terrified of what they're going to say because like they could invalidate my feelings and make it seem like it's nothing. So sometimes I feel people just kind of suck it up. They don't say anything because they're just like, I'd rather not take this extra distress. But it's like that, like you covering yourself up, you're asking for yourself for longer, like to be uncomfortable for a longer time instead of you just dealing with it right then and there.
Yeah,
that's just my view.
But I think we're taught to like not say everything that what we're thinking or like what we do,
especially because we might not be accepted or we might not be the same as the other person, you know, and that could cause some problems sometimes, you know.
But I think if you're honest, you can like learn from yourself and like other people, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like how to like approach a situation at times. But people don't get that nowadays.
Nope.
I wish someone gave me honesty and stuff. Oh. I mean, when you don't have honesty or like understand each other, I feel like the relationship becomes toxic. And nobody likes a toxic relationship. Like, and for the life of me, I do not understand why people choose to stay in toxic relationships.
Crystal, you go.
Some people, like, especially if, like, for example, if it's a first relationship, a lot of people, like, might not want to get out of that. Like, people love to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we were on Tinder. Like, people like affection, people like to have somebody there with them, but it just sometimes.
No, and the worst part is sometimes you don't even know you're in a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And I think I've gone through, not me personally, but in my family, it's happened.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it until you're out of that.
Yeah,
you know,
like you
really start looking back and you see all the signs, and it's just like, whoa. But the toxicity
Yeah.
You're right.
Is that a word? Okay. The foreign coming out.
Oh.
What's it called? It's like so ingrained into you that you don't really know that it's happening, you know? So I think, yeah.
I think because people are blinded by love, honestly.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
Another thing with that, I feel also like what you grow up seeing. Like some people, they don't see the healthiest relationship. So to them, they're like, oh, if I'm in this is normal.
Oh, that's a big
Right.
thing.
And
Yes.
but like I have one friend. She's, to me, I would say she's in a toxic relationship, but also I saw like her growing up and her family situation and what she saw. She doesn't recognize that's toxic, but just to her, like, this is normal. This is like the most best relationship she's had. But like to me, I'm like, oh my god, there's so many red flags, and it's like, you know, I could tell her everything, but it's not until she recognizes in herself that she gets to her pushing point that she's like, all right, I gotta get out of this.
Exactly. But like, I remember one time I had a friend at school and she was in a toxic relationship. And I told her, I was like, ask him why he is doing this. And then he's like, oh, my parents did this and that, and this is why I'm like this, my childhood. But it's like, if you see that, why not try to fix it and change it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why sit there and do the exact same thing that your parents went through and, you know, their relationship isn't too good? It's like, why not try and change, you know?
Yeah, like, especially if you're knowledgeable about the fact that you lived through this and you don't want to, you know, like, yeah.
It gets weird. It's like,
yeah.
all right, it's like you like hurting other people.
Like, and then even in some situations, it's like, especially whenever it goes back to your parents not having the best relationship, it's, you know, your feelings, you know, your experiences, like whenever your parents were arguing, which everybody argues.
Yeah.
That's normal.
You can't get out of that.
As long as it's healthy.
But
arguing.
like once they cope with it. But if you are, you know how you felt whenever your parents would be in an argument. Do you really want to put your own kids through that? That's always something that, like, you have to think about. And I know a lot of people, they don't think about relationships in the long run, like marriage, kids, future, down the road. But for the sake of like your heart and future, it's best. Even if you're like, oh, I don't want to get married right now, it's still good to like consider those things, especially whenever it's like quality personality traits. So
of course.
Yeah, like, relationships are just hard.
Yeah.
They're just super hard.
But I think if you find a person and they're worth it, you should definitely just go
for sure.
It, you know?
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I think you gotta, both of y'all need to check your credentials, honestly.
So on your resume, you said you were funny, you were tall, and you were this and this and that. And in person, you're not meeting up to those standards.
Exactly.
But then what about breakups, y'all? How have y'all dealt with that?
Who wants to go first? I got a story.
Sorry.
No copyright.
I can go. I got something really quickly.
All right,
So like on my first relationship, the long distance one from Massachusetts.
The voice
Somebody
changed.
put
Excuse
him on a
me.
radio show.
Thank you.
Can you sing me to sleep?
With that one, I remember when we broke up, it was weird because it's like we talked on the phone, but it's like I really couldn't tell how they were feeling. Like I didn't know if they were crying or not, they were mad, like what was happening in the end. But like it's just it was weird. It was kind of like you were saying like goodbye to like a cousin or whatever. Like it wasn't even like a relationship, honestly. I know that's pretty bad, right? And for that one, it was just like, okay, we did it, we're done, bye. But then for my other relationship that recently ended, I gave him the reasons on why I did not want to go through with the relationship anymore. And for some reason, it became like really bad. Like he started getting angry. He was being mad. He was cursing me out left and right.
Excuse me?
Wait, really?
Excuse me? And it's just like, yeah, really. And it was just like a whole throwdown on like text message. And the mistake I really think that like I regret is giving him the password to my Disney Plus.
Oh,
Did you kick him out?
Girl, I changed that password.
real quick.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, like we really did. I feel like when people break up, I feel like there shouldn't really be any arguing. Like, it's just like, you have to understand how that person is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people struggle to understand that. And it's like, he said he didn't want me and like, I did this and that.
I think sometimes the arguing is inevitable because of the hurt that people,
For sure,
are feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
But like there is a amount of time, like there is no time limit on how long it takes you to get over a breakup, but I feel like there is a time limit on how long you should be like harassed. Like in the homeboy was in Lee's DMs for probably like
ever.
For a long time, and it got to the point where even I was like, yeah, no, you need to cut that off. Like
I literally had to block
doing
him.
too much, like absolutely the most
For no reason.
Yeah, and I think another thing after breakups is everyone like is a lot of emotions, and people tend to act on a lot of emotions. I think once you break up with someone, just take your space apart, and then when you're both in a clear mental state, come back and talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
that's the best.
Yeah, it's like, what's the purpose of being angry and we both sit here and show our true colors, and then it's like,
what you gonna do?
Exactly.
I will show my Capricorn placements right now if you try me.
But no, it's just like, why like sit here and both like hate on each other? And then I feel like with that whole thing with like arguing, you have to make sure it's good arguing, like not just like negative arguing, like
not just like a screaming match.
Exactly, because then at that point you're just both tearing each other down and basically telling each other that they're like worth nothing, basically.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was with you for this amount of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, people need to whenever you're in arguments, like don't throw people's like insecurities at them. That is qualities of a trash person, and if somebody does that to you, don't take it. That's
oh my god. Oh my god, that's like I feel honestly that's one of the worst things you could do to somebody is throw the insecurity in their face, because it's like, I was vulnerable enough to tell you about that, and you're throwing that in my face. Screw you.
Like, that is the biggest disrespect to me.
Like, I will slash your tires.
Vete a la mierda. Literal.
I will cut 3 of them.
I'll cut 3 of them so you don't get the insurance money.
I love how like I just say something in Spanish and they just go completely over it because they don't understand, and I think I love having that power.
Because I was sitting here and I was like, what
I tried to translate it real quick. I was like, nope.
You get past the first word and it's like,
This motivates me just more to learn Spanish at this point.
Exactly. But let's say y'all like, after y'all get done arguing, is it okay to be friends?
I think there's nothing wrong with that, but I think there has to be a period of just no communication between the two of you.
You for sure need to
heal for yourself. And I think that happened with me and my ex. We had a period of no communication whatsoever, and after we just communicated again, and we've been able to just stay friends and like acquaintances, not just friends, but acquaintances. Be able to say hi if you see each other in the street or something,
That's just civil, like, being able to do that.
I think
like, me personally, I'm friends with all of my exes. There's no problem.
But it also depends on the way you guys end.
Yeah, that's
another thing.
That's a big thing. That's what I was about to say. Like, none of us ended in any like heartbreaking. Like, yeah, people were sad. I was people. In some of them situations, I was a little sad, but like, you get over it. And I'm just the type of person, I don't really like hold grudges unless you really get on my bad side. No bad. But there's no issue if you guys could both be like mature about the situation and move forward from like what happened. I don't see any problem in being friends with your exes. Like,
I don't think there's a problem, but also I think is like, if you don't have that time apart, feelings could come
You
back
need that
and it
for
can
sure.
get
For sure. I think
real fast.
that was one of my biggest mistakes in one situation. Like there was who did that? Who did that?
Sorry.
Yeah, I did not take that time to distance. There was somewhat of one, but I did not take the time to
You would
distance.
not.
Oh my god.
So we're getting dragged today. is what I'm hearing.
Drag her.
Oh god, yeah, I didn't take the appropriate amount of time to distance myself.
But you're learning. But you're
I did
learning.
learn for
Growth.
sure. And I think that goes back, like, we talked about this last episode. Lee was, like, the first person who I was with. And, like, the fact that, like, the day after we were able to go out with the movies, everything was fine and dandy. And, like, we're still best friends, like, 8-9 years in the running.
Yeah.
In my head, it was like, oh, that's how it's going to be with everything. So I'm thinking I'm going to be fine. I was not fine.
Yeah.
You definitely
Yeah.
you definitely need that time apart. Like, you have to be in the mental headspace to know that even though, like, yes, feelings, no matter if it ends in a bad way, like, feelings were there at some point in time. So you, no matter what you think, you need that time space to know that, okay, I'm solid, I am on my own, I'm independent, I am.
No.
I'm sorry.
Don't want to get sued.
I am independent. I can handle myself. I could be friends with this person. There's no feelings, no strings attached. That is very important whenever it comes to breakups, especially if you want to be like friends. I don't think there's a problem with it, but there is, like, I could write up a process and procedures manual if need be, but there are kind of steps that you have to take towards that.
But here's one thing I can say. I feel you could be friends with an ex after, or like someone you used to like, but I think if they're actually just toxic in general, just to your life, because let me give y'all a quick spiel.
Spiel.
So there's a guy I liked for literally over a year. Don't know how I did that, but I really, really liked him. And
I'm sorry.
Sis.
Oh.
So I liked him for like over a year, and let's just say, like, I found something out really vital a year later that I should have known the whole time I was talking to him.
Oh, for sure.
And that really, like, messed me up. And so after that, like, I kind of distanced myself, and we were friends and stuff, but like after, like, all my feelings were gone, I recognized, I was like, oh, you were just toxic and manipulative the whole time. Like, I was literally just in a toxic manipulation relationship for a whole, like, talking stage with her for a whole year. That's why I personally am not that close with that person, or I don't really talk to them anymore, because besides feelings or everything and anything like that, you really did a lot of damage to me and my life. Why would I need that in my life?
Exactly.
Oh my god. I feel like we have all been in a relationship where the person has been manipulative at some point in time. Like, I feel like even now in this time, especially whenever people are, like, communicating, like, over social media, over the phone, like, not being able to see each other, like, in person, or just in general, like, the relationships where you can't see the person all the time, it's really easy for people to be manipulative, and some people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Especially if they know that, like, the individual isn't as strong. But people grow. I am people.
We're all growing.
Yeah.
I have one last question before we leave.
Yeah.
How do we feel about getting back with our ex?
Ooh. Should I just spill my business to an extent?
I mean, if you want to, how do we feel about getting back with the trash?
No.
I didn't mean him.
Espérate.
I'm just saying, like, if he did you wrong, why go back?
Okay, but hear me out. I think another thing too with people, when you take that time apart and you grow and you both, like, figure your stuff out and everything, and you both are in better places, and you guys are like, all right, we're on the same page with everything, why not give it another shot? Why not, like, take off where it's supposed to be?
For sure.
But but like, say you were like, oh, I want to get back together, but they're still the same. They haven't progressed. They haven't learned from their mistakes. Cut
No,
that.
obviously. But then there's also the right person, wrong time.
Yeah.
Aha! That is
another
true.
thing.
bad. You see each other.
We all live rent free.
No bad.
Okay. I guess I could see that happening.
Why you don't think?
No, I mean I agree. Like, give them a second shot. But I'm just saying they're like completely like toxic. Like I think the toxicity level depends on whether or not
that pH scale.
Girl,
That's high.
Exactly.
The acidity.
The acidity.
Oh, but like really quickly, do you guys have any breakup stories y'all want to talk about? Or like, how did y'all deal with your own personal breakups? How about that?
Okay, listen. With that, y'all probably gonna think I'm cold, but I literally give myself a time limit. I know everyone here just said don't give yourself a time limit.
We definitely came
Healing
before we recorded.
But for me, honestly, I give myself like 3 days at the max.
For the pity party?
For the pity party. Because
Okay.
I feel like some people can get so involved in feeling sad for themselves that like they miss out on like a whole lot.
Woe is me.
Exactly. And I mean, it's okay. Like, some people take longer to like heal from like something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can kind of say like, oh, if it takes you that long to heal from it, you didn't really care about the relationship.
Yeah.
No, I cared. But at the same time, it's like, I'm a naturally happy person. Like, y'all all know how happy I am in general. Like, you never see me sad.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, 3 days is the most, because I'm like, I need to be happy. Like, I can't. Like, it's just, I get depressed. I start eating. I get bigger. I don't fit my Fashion Nova anymore.
Oh.
And that's just a terrible place to be.
It's a Fashion Nova that motivates you to get out of it.
Period. And exactly.
Jeans.
And it's just like, why sit there and mope around? You're depressed. And it's just like, you're hurting your own self at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's where the whole self-respect comes back in. Like, you need to love yourself and realize that you were enough. You did what you could.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there are some things you could work on.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some things that the other person could work on.
Yeah.
And it's just about agreeing and being happy with your own self at the end of the day.
And that also goes back to communication for sure. Like, being able to have that mutual respect for each other, that even after you guys break up, you could still... Closure is important. I don't think people understand that. Closure is very
relationship
important.
Closure, wig closure. A lot of y'all don't know about the wig closure. But,
where's your wig loose?
Period.
Honey, your lace is loud.
But also another thing too, sometimes you may never get that closure or the closure you want, and you have to find that within yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
That's always the hardest one.
I am people's.
Lean on your friends. Your friends are always going to be there for you.
Have emotional support system.
Exactly. Do not go through it alone.
I don't know what I would do without like these three right here. Oh my god, not to be sappy or nothing, but I don't know what I would, and my brother, of course.
We love Shaq.
Love you, Shaq.
Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna do. Also, my mom, like, I don't. The people who are around you are very important whenever you're going through stuff. Like, don't think that you're going through it alone. In some situations, it's like friends and family are also involved.
Yeah, and
so other people might be hurt too. Like, sometimes parents get really involved in the relationship with your girlfriend. Not to attack nobody, but it's okay. I love you. But just like, sometimes other people have to deal with that too. You're not the only one. So make sure that you have those people there with you that could help you through that breakup, through that process. I remember there was a week that I was doing great. Everything was fine. I was able to go out, living my best life. And there was like one night that I was just like not having it. I was crying. I was upset. I just didn't want to be home, want to go out with my friends, but I can't because it's 2 a.m. And I remember like hitting up Parisa, and I was like, I don't know why this is happening. Like, why am I feeling like this? And she told me, like, healing is not in one direction. It's not always going to be an incline. Some days you'll be feeling great. Some days you will be feeling like crap. And that's okay. But you just got to keep on pushing forward and hope for the best. Like,
I just want to sing a song.
No bad.
But
it'd be like that.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, definitely healing isn't linear. If it takes you a day, 3 days, a month, a year, years, like, as long as you're making an effort to heal and deal with what happened, that's like, I think people like are too hard on themselves when they get through a breakup. They're like, I'm not doing enough. Like, he's out there like talking with other girls and I'm at home. But it's like, well, you're making effort to heal. He or she or whoever, whatever pronouns you identify with. that everyone has different ways of coping.
Exactly.
Like, personally, when I went through my breakups, obviously I'd be like sad at home, like depressed, like in my bed, whatever. But then I'm like, I want to hang out with my friends. Like, my friends make me excited, they make me happy, so I hang with my friends. I talk heavy with like my sister and my mom. I tell them all my feelings, and I really just like, you have to really just sit and reflect. Like, all right, this is what happened. Like, because also you can't just blame everything on one person. Like, you have some fault in it too. So I feel you have to take that time to really reflect and deal with it. And then I feel like, however you feel about it, like if you want to continue talking with them, or maybe you want to just cut things how they are. But that's personally how I deal with my breakups. Yeah.
Eating chocolate helps.
Oh yeah.
Your favorite things. Go to the dollar store. It's $1. $1.
Period.
$1. Go buy you.
Everybody
some of
should
your
treat themselves.
snacks.
Everybody should treat themselves
For sure.
Oh yeah. Like, oh my god, take yourself out. Go to the nail spa or nail spa. Go to the nail salon. Go to get a spa. Go do something you always wanted to do. Or my favorite thing to do when like something happens, I chop my hair off because I just get a fresh feel, a fresh look.
or diet,
or diet, whatever you want to do, or diet. It's fine.
But going back to what Hariza was saying about like the girl still feeling sad and the guy going out and talking to other people, please be careful whenever just freshly out of a relationship. Rebounds exist. Going like and hurting somebody else, it's gonna hurt them in the long run, whether you know it or not. I don't think I've ever heard of a situation that somebody's rebound ended up like working out. Be sure that you are mentally prepared for a new relationship. Like, you're not just looking for someone to give you that validation from you breaking up with someone, because you are not only going to be hurting yourself around two after that relationship goes downhill, you have also now extended your hurt to somebody else, because now that person's going to be going through something. But
then also a rebound doesn't necessarily mean a relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
So
I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't
hit it and quit it. So.
That's too. I feel like you shouldn't bring your baggage from a past relationship to somebody else. It's like, okay, like I had no luggage and now I have like a bag to unpack. Like, when did I ask for this?
She
like,
said, I got a carry-on. You got a suitcase.
You have a suitcase. I was like, I have TSA pre-check. Like, why all of a sudden like I'm carrying way more than I'm supposed to?
Exactly.
I don't even have to take off my shoes to go through. But now you got us the back of the line. Our flight's leaving in an hour. What are we doing?
Girl, and we just going down the street. Going to a different country. Wild.
That's crazy. The flight's only 2 minutes. I don't know what you doing. Did I hear private jet?
Come on with it.
Yeah. For sure. So, once again, I would like to reiterate on behalf of House Party, everything that we said in this episode, take with a grain of salt. This is just our personal experience. Everything that we talked about today is our personal experience, how we dealt with things. So don't take anything we said too much to heart. If something helps you, like, let us know.
Or if you just like the tea, man, like, just
let us know how you're feeling, how you're thinking, how we're doing. And our DMs are open. Again, the Instagram is HAUZ_PARTY. So make sure you check us out.
And if you want a relationship, hit up my Instagram.
Okay. What's that handle?
L_E_D19. Thank you.
Also, wait, I have one quick shout out for the person who left a review saying Lee's voice was really good. Why don't you slide in?
Slide in.
Whoever you are.
We want to know.
I promise I've already been through the whole healing process. I'm good. I'm not going to hurt you. Yeah. I just want to love you.
Honestly, we talked about shooting your shot. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. I'm really nice, guys. I promise. I'm not mean.
A little spicy.
Anyway, so we're going to end it right here, guys. All right.
So we hope you guys enjoyed us here at the house party, and we hope you tune in on next episode. All right.
Bye.
Brought to you by Since We're Here Entertainment.